How to avoid early repayment of a loan in the crisis. In the study of your loan agreement, you can find another unpleasant fact. The bank could envisage in it its right to demand early repayment of the loan without the occurrence of force majeure circumstances prescribed in the agreement. In addition to clearly stated grounds for early repayment, the contract may also contain a phrase about compliance with additional obligations. Borrowers usually ignore the fulfillment of these obligations. Few of us pay attention to the need to notify the bank in connection with changes in passport data, contact numbers, periodic provision of documents confirming the financial solvency of the borrower. If desired, the bank can easily abuse this oversight. In this case, you are also in the risk zone. But remember that the last thing a bank needs is a scandal, and it doesn't need your collateral at all. It needs money. At the same time, in a normal situation, he expects to receive interest on the loan. If he neglects interest, seeking to repay the loan ahead of schedule, it means that he is in a difficult financial situation. Therefore, the bank, most likely, will not try to exercise its right. If he turns to you with a demand for early repayment of the loan, pull as possible time, so that the bank does not have the opportunity to start calculating fines, penalties, and forfeits. Thereafter, enter into negotiations. If it is possible to contact a specialized agency for the settlement of relations between borrowers and banks, and they do not ask for too much money, contact these people. You can ask this agency to soften the terms of the loan, lengthening the term, deferring repayment, providing a new loan to repay the old one. If there is no such agency, the routine responsibility of negotiating falls on you. Explain to the bank representative that you have no money to repay the entire loan, but you have money to repay it in accordance with the payment schedule. On the other hand, pay the attention of the bank representatives to the following fact. The wide publicity of the fact that he is demanding early repayment of the loan will be interpreted by the market as evidence of its severe financial problems. Calmly, kindly, and with an expression of personal sympathy, explain to him what, from the point of view of your lawyer, even if you do not have one. This provision of the contract is contrary to the civil code and therefore can be declared invalid by the court, and even if the court decides in favor of the bank, you will file an appeal. Threaten the bank's representative by the fact that you yourself will be the first to sue the bank, challenging its demand for early repayment of the loan. Thus, you will seriously lengthen the process of collecting the loan amount from you. After all, you can organize as many as 4 court sessions. 1. On your claim against the bank about the illegality of its claims. 2. On your appeal in case of support of the bank by the court. 3. At the bank's claim against you. 4. On your appeal in case of a court decision in favor of the bank. With the slowness of many courts, this can give you a significant gain in time. In the same way, without wasting yourself on negative emotions, explain to the bank representative that you will immediately begin to act. And you organize through a friend of journalists, parliamentarians, non-governmental organizations, and thanks to the internet, the noise on the financial problems experienced by the creditor bank. Explain that this noise in the current crisis environment is likely to aggravate the bank's financial position to the point that it may not live to see the end of the court marathon. This will give you a significant respite on your loan payments. It is very likely that you will be considered an uncomfortable victim, and will simply be left alone. If your interlocutor behaves inappropriately, then immediately demand a complaint book and communication with his boss. If the boss or the manager himself did not succumb to your pressure, offer, as a compromise, an acceptable option for you to issue you a new loan to pay off the old or accelerated loan repayment. Make sure that the new treaty was no longer any opportunity to demand early repayment of the loan, nor the ability to raise the interest on it without your consent. If you fail to agree on this too, wait for the formal, paper-based requirement of the bank for early repayment of the loan. Then find a cheap lawyer, sue and act according to the laws of your country. Although this is a rather costly and time-consuming path, which is best avoided, it is important that any normal bank will also, and for the same reasons, It will try to avoid this path and negotiate and find a compromise with you. You just need to clearly explain your situation and fix the boundaries in which you are ready to make concessions. Good luck in business and endurance. Subscribe and stay with us. In the next video, you will learn how to avoid an increase in interest rates on your loans.